Welcome to another installment of the Mastercam studio at ProtoTek. This exclusive video series features the exceptional functionality found only within Mastercam, the #1 most widely used cam software in the world. Here's the topic of today's video.
Today I'm going to show you a new function in Mastercam 2022 called Check Tool Reach. Let's go ahead and take a look at my screen so I can show you how to use it. So on my screen here, I have a mold base that I'm going to manufacture here and cut in a CNC machine. And right off the bat, all I did was bring in my model. I have no idea what tools will fit in here or fit in all of these little different features in this mold base. So in 2022, if we come up to our tool paths menu up on top, in our ribbon, there will be one called Check Tool Reach. That is a new button here for Mastercam 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up my screen here first, just so we can make sure we see cuts all over this part. So in my Levels Manager, I'm going to turn off my Vice level. And now I just have my part on the screen. I'm going to go up to Check Tool Reach and left click on Check Tool Reach. Now what it's going to do is pop up a dialog box on the left hand side here. And our target here that it's looking for is going to be our part that we want to machine. So I'm going to go ahead and left click on the white arrow, and I'm going to select my whole model. What we have here is we have a default tool that we could pick. Otherwise, I can manually set these as far as cutting diameter, cutting or corner radius, overall length, and cutting length. So I can really determine what tool I want to check against my model to see if it will fit in there and do everything I need it to do for this stage of programming. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a 1/2 inch. I'm going to leave the overall length at 2 inches, and my cut length is going to be a 1/2 inch. Now down below here in the preview section, there's a preview button here. So when I get all my sets correct, I can go ahead and preview what I want to see on my model before I even start programming. The options we have here are reachable, unreachable tool, unreachable holder, and if there's an actual undercut on the part, which is nice to know. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to left click on the preview button, and this is going to process off of my target that I picked. In this case would be the mold base. Now as I look into this, I'm seeing some colors here. I'm seeing reds, I'm seeing light blues. Reds are a feature that tool, due to cutting length, cutting diameter, overall length, are not going to be able to cut that potentially. So it's kind of giving me a hint of what will be able to be cut here and what won't be. If I look around the part on this side specifically, now we're seeing blue, which is kind of nice to see. I had no idea that I had an undercut on this mold base, and now right there, that is giving me some information before I start programming to look at this section and say I'm going to have to do a different process here to be able to cut that feature to the correct size. A couple other things we have in here for options is we can go and we can pick from a tool library also. So I could go and select a tool from a tool library. So I could open from here, open a new library. Otherwise I could pick out of my current job here. Maybe if I grab this 156.5 ball end mill, maybe I want to check that against my model. So I can come in here and I can check that. It fills in all my parameters here. And once again, I could just go and preview this out and see what's going to reach and what's not. And in this case, I know that these radiuses in here may give me a little bit of hassle during programming because they're saying that the tool is not going to be able to reach that. For whatever reason, in this case, the radius doesn't match the radius in the part. So I'd have to go with the smaller tool in this case to cut this part correctly. We also have use holder from assembly as an option. So if I click that and I can preview that, if there are potential any issues here, and I'm not seeing it here, I would see yellow on my unreachable holder. If I go back and maybe I put my, I select a different tool here, I'm going to go back to a 1/4 inch end mill, and I'm going to say my cut length is, we'll leave it and we'll preview it here again. Once again, I'm going to use tool from holder assembly, and I'm going to preview this. And once again, now we're starting to see some yellow on the screen. Now this is indicating to me that I'm only going to be able to cut to that depth because my holder is going to interfere with any feature on that target that I picked. So it's giving me a full array of what can I use for a tool, what will be cut, what will be left behind. So it kind of gives me a good hint before I go through all the process of programming, and then I got to start changing tools because it doesn't fit into a corner. This is a great feature, and in my opinion, if you are going into a job like this with a lot of features and you don't know what's really going on there, it makes sense to go ahead and just check your tool reach before you even start programming. To save you time, and obviously to save the company money, because time is money. I certainly hope you can go and use this feature back in your programming. It's huge for a programmer to be able to detect from a model what exactly we need to use for tools. And as always, we make videos constantly here. We make them monthly. So definitely check our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.